Scotty, the thrusters need more juice. I need a status.
I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. I don't know if she can take much more.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bill.
I'm Justin.
And welcome to
Car
Reviews.
Reviews.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has. And
Well, we blame the lack of movies, don't we?
I mean, we could have seen it Chapter 2, but we want to sleep at night.
Yeah, I'm not really a big horror person.
I mean, I've seen the first one, and I heard the second one's actually not as scary as the first one. But I heard there's jump scares.
And you do not like jump scares?
I do not like jump scares.
Okay, so we saw
Ad Astra.
And this movie is quite an interesting film, isn't it?
It feels important. And it tries to convey that it is important.
It tries to be more important than it actually is.
Well, let's analyze this movie and
then you'll hear rants.
oh, Jesus.
Okay, it's not going to be that type of rant, but you're going to hear our thoughts. And you're going to like our thoughts. If you don't, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want. Woohoo! Libertarianism! Do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt anybody. Woo!
All right. So the plot is Roy McBride is an astronaut for, it's not NASA, but it's like the space something.
Something similar to NASA.
Yes, it's like a NASA-esque program. And his father is this hero who went all the way to like Neptune but never returned, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. Earth and the entire solar system is kind of experiencing these cosmic surges of energy that's causing power outages and could potentially lead to the extinction of all life as they know it. And they believe that Roy's father, Clifford McBride, holds the key to stopping this. So they send Roy to Mars to deliver a message to him. But along the way, Roy discovers kind of an ulterior motive and maybe some stuff about his father he never really wanted to ever know about.
Yeah. So
this isn't Star Wars.
Nah.
This isn't Star Trek. This isn't
it's Starship. Interstellar.
Okay, I was gonna go with 2001 meets Gravity, but that's another way to put it. It's hard sci-fi, which means it goes for the realism, and there might be inaccuracies scientifically here and there, but it tries to stick by real physics.
Yeah. Let's start with the good stuff, shall we? Because there is good things in this movie. The acting.
Acting's very good. We
Brad
have
Pitt.
Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Donald Sutherland. Liv Tyler was in this movie briefly.
Who?
Liv Tyler, Steven Tyler's daughter.
Oh, really? She was?
Yeah. Well, I read her name in the credits, so she was somewhere. I think she was the girlfriend.
Okay.
You know, the one that we see like maybe 3-4 times in this movie. Anyways,
acting chops good.
Brad Pitt delivers. This is Brad Pitt's year, honestly. I mean, between Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and this.
No, he's laughing his way to the bank.
And I have faith that this movie is gonna make said bank because, well, unless the Downton Abbey movie is actually more popular than
Because you got Downton Abbey and you got the Rambo sequel.
Yeesh. Slim pickings. Honestly, I'm glad I saw this one. If you had to make me choose between the three of them. It's visually stunning.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Honestly, this is probably going to be the reason why Endgame's not going to win any Oscars come Oscar season.
Because you think this
I think this is going to take all the technical categories like visual effects and stuff like that.
Visually, it was great.
And I liked some of the concepts in this, you know. there's kind of a parallel that happens like in the last third with Roy, Brad Pitt's character, and Clifford, Tommy Lee Jones' character, despite what Roy wishes, you know?
Yeah.
And I found that very
when they find
intriguing.
out that secret about him.
Yeah, when they find out that's all that stuff about Clifford, and then you see these events unfolding because of Roy.
Yeah.
You start noticing these parallels. Intentional, unintentional, I don't know, but the parallels are there, and I noticed. Another concept I thought, I don't know if I would call this good or bad, but it's an interesting creative choice. They kind of made space travel into commercialized a little bit.
Really?
You know, especially between
I did notice that.
Earth and the moon.
It literally says the moon. It's like you're getting off at an airport.
Welcome to the moon, where people of Earth come together.
It's like getting off at an airport, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and it has customs
I think
and
it's
everything.
weird. It's kind of interesting.
And, you know, they have... and there's war on the moon, you know? It's... That I found shocking at first, but once you really thought about it, it makes sense because of human nature. You know, we're always fighting over resources. We're always fighting over...
Anything,
really. It's just human nature to fight.
we're humans. We fight if the sky is blue. We fight over the fact that the sky is blue.
In this scenario, it was over resources, and we have laser technology now.
Really?
You know? Well, according to this movie, we do. And it's funny because they acknowledge the rules of, you know, in space there's no sound because you're in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Even when you fire a laser, I've actually seen an actual video of what a laser looks like when it's actually fired.
It's not one of those laser pointers, right?
No, it's not like a laser pointer. It's not like something you would see in Star Wars or anything like that. It's actually a very, very brief flash, and then it's already destruction on the other side.
Boom, like that.
Like you would need like a very high frame rate camera to capture the actual light.
Wow.
If that. It's a blink of an eye. It's just... And it's destructive. So... And you don't hear anything come out, you don't hear a pew or anything like that, you know, like... And even in this, you don't hear any pews.
You don't hear any pews?
No pews.
You just see the flash?
You see the flash and you see the aftermath.
Yeah. So, I think, like I said, like it does be realistic for space travel.
Mm-hmm.
And it does look good, and I did kind of like the thing with him and his father. How he finds out that secret that we're not going to spoil, but that his father did something, you know... Did something that shocks people.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put it that way. But, you know, now that we talked about the good stuff, guess what we have to do?
Talk about what he says is the bad stuff.
Oh, like, do you have any complaints about this movie?
I'll admit it is a slow burn, and I do think that some of the shots are... It is a self-indulgent movie. I'll say that.
I feel like the narration kind of took me out of it.
The narration is
it's
very
kind of,
present. And I actually talked to you about that. There's people who will decry narration in general.
Yeah.
Like, even if a Scorsese movie came out and there was narration, which there's always narration in a Scorsese movie.
I don't know. Like, I don't mind this narration in Scorsese movies. Is that weird?
Well, he keeps it interesting with like snappy editing, the soundtracks and all that. You know, it's with this you have very not whimsical. It's not a whimsical score. It's a.
Can I please? Or
it's not whimsical.
Okay.
It's not whimsical. It's like
pretentious.
A little pretentious. It's like trying to be mysterious. Like it feels very spacey and very subdued.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's great to look at, sometimes you want a little more of a faster pace. And there's some pretty cool moments of like a little bit of action here and there.
The action was intense.
When it actually happens, there's maybe 8 minutes total of action in this 2-hour movie.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Like, there is a... I don't know how much it could have been after that scene we were talking about in the movie theater. You could have cut out, like, maybe the last...
You could have shaved some seconds in the editing room from, like, different shots.
Yeah.
Like, there were shots where I think that lasted a little too long.
Yeah, but you could have cut off, like, a good couple minutes.
Yeah, I think you could have shaved a good 10 minutes just by cutting down the scenes a little bit.
Yeah, you could have cut off a good 10 minutes to this ending.
And
it kind of... It's kind of like, okay, you think the movie's over. Like, oh, crap, there's 10 more minutes.
Yeah, I do think that they could have ended the movie, like...
10 minutes earlier.
At least 5 minutes earlier.
Okay, that's fair.
I could have used, like, an ambiguous ending with that, you know? That could have actually been interesting.
That would have been interesting.
Like, make you wonder about...
What happened?
What happens to Roy. But the ending in this is pretty definitive. I don't necessarily agree with how it ended. I'll get into that when we're off camera, but...
It's just... Okay, now listen, we don't think this movie was bad.
No, I probably liked it a little... Probably a fair bit more than you did.
Yeah, and that's just my opinion. I don't know, I kind of got taken out of it a few times. Like, I don't think this movie was awful. I just thought it was kind of... I thought it was kind of pretentious.
There were... Also, I'll say this. There were a couple of line reads where I was like,
ooh,
you could have cut those lines out. Why did you include those lines in there? Especially at the conclusion of the second act.
Yeah.
Where Brad Pitt's back is towards the screen and he's talking to that lady on Mars.
Yeah.
And he says what he's going to do regarding his father. I'm sorry, that line read was a little awkward. They should have cut the line altogether.
Yeah.
Overall... And the monkey stole the show.
Yes!
Well, was it a monkey or was it like a chimp?
Chimpanzee.
It was a chimpanzee? Okay. But yeah, the chimpanzee stole the show. As brief of an appearance as it was, it stole the show.
That chimpanzee better get nominated for an Oscar.
And...
Hey, 2019, we can nominate chimps now. What? Are you Primate exclusive?
Bill, they won't even give Andy Serkis an Oscar when he's showed many times that he deserves one for his mocap performances.
You never know. That chimp can get an Oscar.
Andy Serkis should go first.
What if the chimp ends up beating Andy Serkis?
Then it becomes clear that the Academy
Is rigged.
Yes, very.
You think it's rigged if the chimp wins?
If the chimp wins against Andy Serkis, yes.
We'll have to see, won't we? Are you anti-chimp, Justin?
Moving on.
Okay.
So...
I think that's about it, don't you think?
This is not going to be for everyone. You know,
it's... Like I said, there was things of it that I did like. I thought it was visually good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the acting was good.
Mm-hmm.
But it just... The narration took me out.
And it is a slow burn.
It does... I need movies that keep my attention. It does move. I feel like the movies were actually... I feel like it was actually longer than I thought it was.
It's funny because usually when a movie feels its length and longer,
Yeah.
it usually is because of the first two acts.
Okay.
That feels dragged out.
Like I remember when I was using the restroom, I was checking my phone at the time. I'm like, wait, this movie's only been going on for a half hour?
Right.
It feels like this movie's been going on for at least an hour.
And I'll be honest though, first two acts, I was invested. And even a bit of the third act, but it does start feeling its length by the third act.
It does?
Yeah. Because the first act had, the first scene with the space station. The second act, the stuff with the chimp, and there's a lot.
Yeah.
And they tried to put a lot in here.
Okay.
But yes, this movie is not for everyone, as Rotten Tomatoes shows the audience score is actually at 56%.
What's the critic score?
82.
So, would you say this is more of a critic-y movie than...
This is more of a... This is a kind of an Oscar baity movie, It
In September.
Welcome to Prestige season.
Prestige season? I thought that didn't start till late October.
Well, the summer movie season started in April this year, so everything's happening a month early, I guess.
God. I thought this was supposed to be like the ordinary time of the movie season. What?
That kind of disappeared, honestly.
I'll explain that reference off camera.
Like, ever since Marvel took over, like, it's been taking spots in February and March. There's April. Honestly, like, the only months that Marvel hasn't, like, secured anything for was, like, January, December, October, and September.
Okay. Well, overall, I think it's time to rank this puppy.
See, it's weird. Because I can't recommend you stream a movie like this. That's the problem. With our system of see it, stream it, skip it.
Do we have to put something else in there now?
Because it's a movie that would be most appreciated on the big screen.
Okay.
Like, it will lose something to watch it on a TV.
All right.
but at the same time, you know what? See it at your own discretion.
I think that's a fair ranking. I was going to say stream it, but I would say it depends on what you're really into. If you're really into it, then...
And good for you.
Yeah. I would say maybe see it at maybe at like matinee price.
I paid 50 cents for this movie.
Awkward silence.
I now have Regal Unlimited, so movies are going to be a lot cheaper for me, and I got it at the perfect time, because even though I'm probably not going to be seeing a movie next week. The week after that's Joker. The week after that is Gemini Man. Then you have like the Addams Family, and
a lot of movies coming out right now.
A lot of movies coming out in October. It's gonna be fun.
Wait, when does Addams Family come out?
I think it's the same weekend as Gemini Man.
Oh, we have a conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest.
Okay, we're gonna have to do. Oh no, we can't do that. Shit.
Well, let's.
I got the wedding that next weekend.
Well,
so
here's
I
the
can't
thing. Let's see what the schedule and what's coming out in the coming month is, and if we have to schedule a movie a week later, and on a week that there happens to be nothing really good piquing our interest coming out, then we see a movie from the previous weekend, you know?
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so like I said, our next one's gonna be Joker, which I'm excited for. It looks kind of nihilistic, though, doesn't it? Okay, well, that's our review. We hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's take the other. Hit that bell!
Ding!
And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time with a smile on our face. All right, guys. Bye. Peace out. Stay cool.